Good morning, friends. It is day 22. We did not make it as far as we were planning yesterday. We found out there were some pretty big storms coming through in the night, and we're trying to figure out a plan. And read a comment about this place you can see here. It's like an ATV shelter. It's got pit toilets outside and trash. It's not meant for overnight camping, but when we got here, we called the police department and just kind of let them know our situation. They said they couldn't really give us permission to stay here, but that it sounded like a safe thing to do. So here we are. A little bit of a rough night of sleep on the cement floor, but the storms were huge. So we were so grateful to be in here. Lots of wind and thunder and lightning, and being out in the forest in our tiny 3-person tent is a little scary in those situations, and all of our stuff is dry, so we are very happy about that. Yesterday was super hard. We were in the Harrison Hills segment, and it is incredibly hilly. The most elevation that we have experienced so far. As a matter of fact, we hit the highest point of the trail yesterday. And it was so hot. It was the hottest day we think that we've had so far. So super humid because that storm was coming. Just a really hard day. We were going really slow. I think we got about 14 or 15 miles in, and it took us forever. However, when we got here, Ruby and Bruce brought us water and cold sodas, and we had a very nice visit with them last night. Got to learn a little bit more about each other, so that was awesome. Really just a great way to end a tough day. Those are some of the reasons why we do this. So we really enjoyed that, and we had dinner and spoiled ourselves with a dessert last night. So a good end to a long, hard day. Today we are kind of hiking out into the middle of nowhere. Probably not going to get thus lucky and find a place like this, but we're so close to being done with this western section, and we can't wait for that. So we are having breakfast and gonna get on the trail. Expect it to be slippery and wet and hilly in the beginning, but then kind of flatten out. So wish us luck. Good morning, friends. It is day 23. Yesterday we did not get to camp until like 10 o'clock, so no video. We were doing pretty good all day, it felt like. We just still didn't get done until late. I think we got like 25 miles in. We still had some hills in the beginning to deal with, and then a lot of bogs and wading through super tall grass. So thankful for this mowed path this morning. See that? We are going a little bit slow because we didn't do breakfast or coffee. We're actually just walking to our cache. It was about 3 miles away from us. So we will do breakfast and coffee there. So we're just trying to get to it. Also turns out that today I had like a 22-mile day planned. However, there are some more nasty storms coming. So we have an option 7.5 miles in, which is another shelter where you're not supposed to stay overnight, but under the circumstances, we think we could do it. But 8.5 miles in, there's actually a campground that has some rustic cabins. So we're just waiting for their office to open so we can see if we're able to do that. That would be great because they have showers. We're also going to be kind of messed up on our food. We meticulously planned for getting into town tomorrow evening, food-wise. So may have to see if some kind soul is willing to run us to the nearest gas station or something, or just figure out how to make our food work. I'm sure it would be fine. Not ideal, but not terrible. So that's our story so far. So no matter what, not a big day planned. So we're just gonna get to where we're going and then hunker down for the storms, which puts us into town a day later than we were hoping. But no big deal. So gotta get to my caffeine so I can wake up a little bit. We'll check in later. Good morning, friends. It is day 24. Yesterday, we were looking for a safe place to stay for the night because there were some nasty storms predicted. We thought we had 2 options. Turns out we had 3. We called the campground that we were considering staying at that has cabins, and they were actually closed because of damage from the last storms. So Marty found a thing on Google Maps that looked like it was lodging. Didn't really have any information, but it had a phone number. And a gentleman answered the phone and kind of laughed. He had actually put that on Google so that people could find some property that they camp on. And we had been the second people that had called. However, it was very close to where we were, so we kind of picked his brain about the area and what our options might be. And he was just kind of concerned that there wasn't really a lot. So his dad came and picked us up and took us into town. And we stayed at a hotel last night and did laundry, took showers, ate a bunch of food. Just had a really nice, relaxing day. We were there by, I think, noon even. We only did about 7.5 trail miles, but the storms were pretty bad. Would have been a really long night in the woods. And again, forever grateful for the kindness of strangers. Today we are either going to do about 18 miles or 25. Those are going to be our next 2 days. I'm not sure which way it's going to go. We're just going to see how we do. And we're actually hiking back into the town we just came from. So we have about 2 days worth of food. Packs aren't all the way full, but water's a little bit scarce. So we've got extra water bottle for when we need to load up. But bodies are feeling good. Marty, his calf is kind of sore. My shin is still doing its thing. But still nothing that's stopping us, so we're powering through it. It is cooler today. That storm made the temperatures go down. I think it's still supposed to be like 77 today, but it's just going to keep going down for the rest of the week. So should have really good hiking weather. We're about to be done with this western section, so we are super stoked about that. Yeah, so let's knock out some miles. Hopefully I can do better at checking in. It's hard when the trail is so rough to do this. Right now I'm on a road, see? I don't think we have to be for very long, but it does make it a little bit easier for videos when we're on a trail that is all rocky and super tall grass. I would just fall on my face, which might make you guys laugh, but probably not me in the moment at least. So here we go. Gotta get to it. Hello, friends. We are about 17.5 or a little more miles into our day. We are at a nice little spot here where we could maybe camp for the night. It's called Baker's Lake. Kind of maybe, no, I don't know if you can see it back there. But if we stay here tonight, then that leaves us a 25-mile day tomorrow, and it is in the Kettle Bowl segment, which is notoriously difficult. I think it's got some bigger elevation and also maybe not always marked as well. I have heard it's been better now. It's better now than it has been before, but We don't really know what to expect, and to leave all of that for tomorrow and then the road walk into Antigo wouldn't be very nice to future us. So present us is going to carry on and try to get a little further into it and have part of it done for tomorrow. We have to stop here for water. This has actually been the only spot we could get water today, and it's the only spot we can get water for a while. So we're loading up on 3 liters each and having dinner here, so that is taken care of, and we don't need water for that. So we're gonna be loaded up kind of heavy with water for sure, but water's important, so gotta do what you gotta do. We don't have a ton of options for dispersed camping once we do this, so we kind of gotta go about 8 miles before we get to an area where there is dispersed camping. So that's what we've got ahead of us tonight. It's been a really nice day. Honestly, it's been cooler. There's been a nice breeze. We did the Summit Moraine segment this morning. We were on that most of the time. And it was pretty nice in the beginning. It was like a real trail, so that's nice. And then it kind of got overgrown towards the end, and we went into the lumber camp segment, and that was very overgrown. There's just blowdowns everywhere from all these storms, so that has been a challenge. But being cooler is definitely helpful. We are I think we're still in the lumber camp, and once we cross the road here, we're going to be in the Kettle Bowl. So we're anxious to see what that's like, because there have definitely been lots of stories about that area. So we will see how it goes, but we're feeling pretty good. Still pretty refreshed from our Nero day yesterday. That's what you call it when you don't do a lot of miles, a Nero. So that's cool. Our stomachs were rumbling pretty quickly in the morning, which is hilarious because we ate so much food yesterday. But you know, we have lots of snacks, so we've been munching on those. Have some chili mac for dinner, which is our favorite. And we'll see how the night goes. Good morning, friends. It is day 25, and we made it to camp last night at about 8:30, about 24.4 miles. We are just so excited to almost be done with the Kettle Bowl and walking into Antigo. This is the biggest town that we've walked into, so it's just exciting. We already know it's there because that's where we went to hide out from the storms the other night. And the gentleman actually even drove us to the campground, so we kind of know what to expect there. We're just so excited to almost be done with this western section. You can see I'm wearing my rain jacket. I think the low last night was like 46, which was amazing sleeping weather, but made for quite a chilly morning. And I know it's really cold because we're still wearing them, and we've been hiking for about 45 minutes. Normally we leave them on and like instantly regret it. So yesterday, through the Kettle Bowl, we didn't find it any harder to navigate than any other part of the trail. We're often kind of going on ATV tracks, and this was like a ski area, so there's a bunch of side trails, but it's not any different than what we've already done. So we have made it through here pretty well. We're just trying to get to the parking lot so that we're officially done with this part. But yeah, a lot of the Kettle Bowl was overgrown. Again, par for the course. It's kind of been our experience so far. But after we get through this and get to Antigo, it's supposed to be better. So super excited. I have to start paying attention to where I'm going because we just got off of that gravel road. So we will check in later from town. Hello, friends. We made it to Antigo. We are in a campground that is like in the middle of the city. There is a baseball tournament happening right across the gravel road, and what I think is a demolition derby happening at the fairgrounds nearby. So it is super interesting. But we got nice showers and pizza delivered to us, and there's water and trash. It's actually a really cool little campground. They have like bikes you can use and wood you can take and just leave a donation. Not that we have the energy to have a fire or ride a bike, but it is pretty sweet. You can hear the baseball game. Today was a pretty good day. We had I think about 3 miles on trail to get out of the Kettle Bowl, and then about, I'm gonna guess 15, 16 miles on the road. Really wasn't that bad because it's so much cooler out. I think the high today was 74. There was a breeze, the sun was out, so we did use our umbrellas, but really just more manageable than our past experience on the road, so grateful for that. We are realizing now that what is supposed to be an easier part is still pretty tricky. The next campground is 20 miles away, but it is, you have to reserve online and do 2 days, or you have to just walk in and hope there's a site. And they said that on a Saturday, probably not going to be a site. And then the next spot for dispersed camping for thru hikers or people who are using the trail multiple days anyway, is 10 miles past that, which means we might be doing a 30-mile day tomorrow. I think the most we've done so far is 26.5. I don't think it's out of the question that we can do it, but there's also potentially some afternoon storms. So we're just trying to figure that out. But our bellies are full and my hair is clean. And I did some laundry in the shower. Yeah, that's right. Showering and laundry at the same time. That's classy. So we're doing good. Just trying to figure out our next few days. There was a grocery store like 0.6 miles from here, so we got to walk there. Got some ice cream Snicker bars. But yeah, we'll see what happens tomorrow. You know, it'll all work out. It always does. Maybe one of those options that we don't know are available will come into light. And if not, maybe we'll see if we can't hike 30 miles. So we'll check in tomorrow.
The world's longest boardwalk.
Hello, friends. It is day 26 and we are already at camp. We had about a 9.5 mile road walk this morning, and then we're still just trying to figure out what we were gonna do. We learned last night from a trail coordinator that the dispersed camping area that would have made it a 30-mile day for us had been hit by a tornado. She was unsure of the condition of the campground, but knew that people had been reporting that the segment itself had a lot of blowdowns and damage, so that became an option that we were not interested in, because hiking 30 miles into something like that seemed a little bit dangerous. It probably would have been dark. So we have made our own option, just doing what we can to be safe. We will be making it about 25 miles to another dispersed camping area past the tornado section, so we can not have to worry about traveling or camping, at least in that. We're going to have to walk through it, but hopefully in the daylight when we've got more energy. It's been a pretty good day. It was cooler for the road walk. Kind of went through a bunch of country, big dairy farms. It's kind of pretty. Got a lot of weird looks when we were sitting in ditches, of course, but also lots of waves as cars drove by. So not a bad day. Gonna go to bed early, get up early, and try to knock out 25 miles as quick as we can tomorrow. See you in the morning. Hello, friends. It is day 27, and we have made it to the place we could have camped at last night. Maybe it doesn't look so bad, but we have walked through several blowdowns. I think you can kind of see it back there. It would have been a very long, potentially dangerous hike out here. Just tons of huge blowdowns. It's hard to be upset about it today because it's just kind of like this crazy distraction to see the power of the storm that came through here. We're about 3 miles out, I think, or maybe 4 from a General Dollar. Then we got a little bit of a road walk to another dispersed camping area. So we're doing good. Mosquitoes are getting bad. You can see one flying around my face right now. But we're hanging in there. Again, it's been a pretty good day for what it has been. You can tell that this segment, the wrinkle segment, is normally a beautifully maintained area, so it's kind of awful to see all these trees down, and it took out some of the boardwalks, and I just can't imagine the amount of work it's going to take to clean this up. But we are passing through. We've seen quite a few other hikers today as well, so that's been kind of fun. Stupid mosquitoes. I don't put stuff on my face because, like, who wants bug stuff on their face? But then that's where they go. Anyway, we've seen some hikers, so that's cool, and we're looking forward to the General Dollar and potentially Freddy's Mexican and more, if we have the energy to walk there. So we will see about that, and maybe we'll check in before we go to bed. We shall see. Hello, friends. It is day 28. I just wanted to recap a little bit of yesterday. So in the morning, we walked through the dells of the Eau Claire, and it was so beautiful and like perfectly maintained, of course, because everyone goes there, and it was a huge campground with beautiful beach area and just perfect trails, and it was next to the Plover River, I think. Um, just beautiful. So I didn't mention that yesterday, so didn't want to leave that out. Um, we got through the blowdowns right about after I did my video, so that was good because we had been in them for quite a while. We made it to the General Dollar, did our resupply, and then we didn't make it to Freddy's Mexican and more, but Marty did run down to Subway and get us some sandwiches while I sat with our packs in the General Dollar parking lot. And a gentleman there gave us a Snickers ice cream bar, which was delicious and awesome. Um, we got to camp, I think, around 9 o'clock, and it was really cool. It's called the Rice Lake Dispersed Camping Area, and it was just kind of a cleared out space for people who are using the trail for multiple days. So very cool. We didn't have to like frantically look for a good spot to put the tent, when we were tired and all that good stuff. Tonight, you can see we are in a shelter. We were hoping we could hike here, but once again, we haven't been able to get ourselves to do the 30 miles, which is what we would have had to have done. So we called a trail coordinator in the area, and she was able to shuttle us up here, and she's going to take us back to where she picked us up in the morning, and we'll be hiking by this again. We walked on the road all day today. I have like no pictures. It wasn't terribly exciting. Still saw a lot of storm damage, but really just walking on the road. I got a nice super crack in my foot from all the time of it being wet, I think, and a new blister now because I was walking funny because of the crack in my foot. So that sucks. But we are at the shelter, and it is pretty cool. You can see we're all set up back there. It's at like a ski resort. It's a 3-sided one, so in front of me it's all just open. But other than my foot, I think we're doing pretty good. We did about 20 miles today, trying to hook up an Airbnb for tomorrow. That'll put us at about 23, 25 miles. Then jump back on trail and hopefully start hitting some more campgrounds. We did try the campground in the town we're in right now, but they said it was fully booked. The trail coordinator drove us through there, and it looked like it was pretty open, but they had a bunch of reserved stuff up, so she just drove us out here. But I think that is all I have to say for today, so we will check in tomorrow.